Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Transformational Talks this evening. Come on in the room and we're going to get started. It's right at 7 o'clock, the top of the hour. So come on in. This is going to be a wonderful talk tonight. So go ahead and come in. And as most of you know who have seen the advertisement, that we're going to be talking about careers. So if you know anyone who has been laid off recently or is looking to change careers or maybe who are afraid to change careers, just have them to come on into the live because our guest tonight is going to really provide some tools that's going to really help you on your job search. So we want you guys to come on in the room. So come on, and like I say, anyone you know who could benefit from this talk, please go ahead and share with them tonight. And let me know when you come in if you feel led to do so. Hello, Caroline. Good evening. Thank you so much for coming in and watching. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm going to give it about another minute and have you guys to come on in. And again, if anyone who can benefit from this talk tonight, please feel free to share. Our topic tonight is successful job search strategies during the pandemic. So again, successful job searches strategies during the pandemic. So again, anybody who has been recently laid off, looking for a career change, or probably afraid to change careers and don't think in the middle of a pandemic you can find a job, our guest tonight is going to show you that you can. Good evening, Darling Davis. Nice to see you tonight. Welcome. Thank you for joining.
Hey.
Good evening, Nadine. Thank you so much for joining. Glad you are here. Welcome. Welcome tonight. Okay, well, guys, you know me. I'm going to go ahead and get started. So, for those of you who are joining us for the first time tonight or joining me for the first time, just so you know, I am Coach BJ. And this is one of my platforms. I do every first and third Thursdays, Transformational Talks with me, Ask the Expert series. So this platform was created for professionals to come on and talk about their expertise and share their knowledge and wisdom in specific industries with the world, right? To expand your knowledge, give you more insight, give you tools, to overcome, something that you might be challenged with. And right now we're going to be talking about careers. So a lot of people are really, fearful about, the challenges that we face with careers today. So again, if there's someone that you know who could benefit from this talk, please share this video and live with them so they can get the tools that they need. Okay. So before we go into the talk, I always like to tell you to please go ahead and get your journals and your notebooks out because she's going to be giving a lot of great information. Good evening, Melody Haynes. Thank you so much for watching. Deirdre, it's always good to see you every time I'm on. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. Angel, hello. Oh my God. Thank you so much for joining tonight. We appreciate you guys so much. So again, as I said, if you could go ahead and get out your notebooks and journals because she's going to be sharing a lot of great information. Good evening, Lee. Oh, look at you cooking but listening. All right now, we like cook and learn. Love it. Bella is back with us tonight. Deborah and Bella. All right now. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. So, I met Dr. Sherrich last year, actually, as a result of being managing partner in my IT global consultant firm. And she is just amazing. When I met her, she was just a bright light, just a beautiful soul. And we've just stayed connected, since 2019. So I just love her spirit. And I'm just so excited for her to come on and share her wisdom and expertise with you guys. Good evening, Samantha. Thank you so much for joining. So let me tell you a little bit about Dr. Sherrich before she comes on and give you everything that she got. Dr. Sherrich Sharper is known by her friends as Dr. Sher. She is a third generation Caribbean American and an Atlanta native by way of Brooklyn, New York, that is. So Dr. Sher received her bachelor's in sociology and a master's in public administration from Savannah State University. And Dr. Sher received her PhD from Walden University in public policy and administration with an emphasis in nonprofit management. In addition to her educational accomplishments, Dr. Sher is a Green Belt Six Sigma certified and a certified as Salesforce administrator. And Dr. Sher has been in the human resource industry for 11 years, right? Dr. Sher is the CEO of Share the Rich LLC, founded in 2015. Through Share the Rich, Dr. Sher is a career empowerment coach, helping clients with custom resumes, professional bios, job search strategies, interview preparation, business plans, HR consulting, recruiting, and empowerment coaching. So you guys are going to be blessed tonight because you're getting the best of both worlds. You are getting not only a business coach who really is going to help move you forward in your career, but also HR consultant. So she know both worlds, like the one that's receiving resumes. She know what they look for. You know, what are they looking for right now in this climate, right? So she have all of that knowledge and wisdom, and we're going to use her 11 years of experience to the best of our ability tonight, right? So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Sherrich. And again, get your paper and pen out so you can take notes, okay? So Dr. Sherrich, I will let you take it away.
All right, thank you. Hey, everybody, welcome. Thank you for spending this time with us tonight. We're going to get right in it. So before we start, just put your name in the chat or just say me. Who has been looking for a job during this pandemic? Let me see. Anybody saying me? All y'all got jobs? Y'all ain't looking for jobs? All right. Okay, I see some people. All right. So during this time, it's different than any other climate we've ever seen, right? People are looking for jobs. They are frustrated. They're scared. If you already have a job, you're like, should I stay? I'm tired of this place, but it is a pandemic. All these thoughts are swirling in your mind. So tonight we're just going to go through some things, going to put your mind at ease. The main takeaway, I want you to take away two things. You feeling frustrated and scared during this time of the pandemic, you're not alone. You're not alone. I felt it. Everyone. I mean, I have not talked to one person that has not felt scared or frustrated. Just like them feeling like nobody's hiring, or them feeling like nobody is responding to their applications and things like that. And secondly, if you don't take away anything else, take away that LinkedIn is it. LinkedIn is it. Okay. So let's get into it. All right. All right, give me 1 second. So let me tell you something too. I'm going to be coming back and forth to kind of check the chat room to see if there are any questions, and just kind of ask. I'm going to try to answer them live. So, because sometimes you have something on your mind, and if I wait all the way to the end, you may forget it. All right, let's get into it, y'all. All right. So, sorry. Okay. So in my company, Share the Rich, let me try to take this off. Sorry, guys. What's going on? Sorry, y'all. Let me go back. Okay. I'm skipping all these. I'm sorry, guys. I touched too tough. So this is what we're going to cover today. Being intentional about your job search, applicant tracking system, which is short for ATS. If you hear me say ATS, that's what I'm talking about. The basics of the resume, the different types of resumes. We're going to talk about LinkedIn. That's what we'll spend most of our time talking about. Any type of virtual interview prep. Well, because all of the interviews now are virtual for the most part. Also increasing your marketability and networking during the pandemic. Then we'll have some job hacks at the end. All right, so job search strategy. The trifecta is ATS, which is applicant tracking system, your resume, and your LinkedIn. That's the three ingredients. Let's say that searching for a job is a cake. You have to at least know about applicant tracking systems, and your resume and your LinkedIn. That's the other piece of the puzzle. Applying for jobs is no longer just, you know how you have the app or you on your computer and you just hitting apply all. I know you feel like you're doing something, but it's almost like you're choosing quantity over quality. You know what I mean? You want to be thoughtful in your job search. You do want to have a resume. You do want to have a cover letter. And you want to have any type of document that's that you need accessible. So for instance, if you are in the education field and they always ask for transcripts, every time you apply, they ask for transcripts. Go ahead and have a folder on your desktop. Let's just say it's job search 2021. It has your resume, your cover letter, and it'll have like transcripts or any type of supplemental jobs, job search items. Also, you want to keep track of the jobs that you've applied to. So if you look at this slide, it's just something I created. It's just Excel. It's simple. You see what it says at the top: date applied, company name, job rating, location, and notes. And I keep this spreadsheet. It helps me keep track of things I've applied to. Also, if for my people who are on unemployment, a lot of times this is one of the requirements for unemployment. They kind of paused it now because of COVID, but this is one of the requirements where you have to tell them where you've been applying. They ask for a little bit more information, but this is pretty much the basis of it. Okay, so have a spreadsheet. Applicant tracking system, ATS. So maybe this is 2021 now. It may have been like 11 years ago. Humans stopped pretty much being the first person to look at your resume. It started just being a system. So the system is pulling it's the yes pile and the no pile. The resumes that are going in the yes pile are resumes that have the specific verbiage for that job. So let's say I'm applying to a position in environmental science. But let's say on my resume, I only have the word environment or environmental 2 times. That is not going to get to the yes pile. Now, the tricky thing with ATS is if you put, let's say, environment too many times, it's going to kick it out. It's going to kick it out. So just know that the applicant tracking system is a software. Your resume is going to get read by the system first. So with that being said, it may answer one of your myth questions if this is going around in your mind. What about the 1-page resume that we used to hear? Remember? And it's like, have a 1-page resume. No, I'm not saying have a 5-page resume, but what I am saying is the more words that's industry specific that the applicant tracking system can pull from, the better. If it's pulling from 1 page and you try to cram a whole bunch of words into it, it's probably not going to end up in the yes pile. Okay. All right. So you can screenshot this screen or just, I'm going to give you the time to write it down, but you want to get that resume popping. Okay. You want to have your name, email, and this is the most important thing, your LinkedIn URL at the top of your resume. If you don't have a LinkedIn tonight, your homework is to register. It's free. Get the free one. Don't get the paid one. Register for LinkedIn. After you get it, put a nice profile picture up there, one up against like a solid color wall like this, and put that up there as your profile picture. And then save that LinkedIn URL, put that on your resume, because recruiters, they go straight to that link, straight to that URL when they're looking at your resume. I'm going to stop for a second and see if anybody has a question. Let me see. What is the right number of pages, Demetria? I wouldn't go over 3. Now, if you're doing a CV, Demetria, if you are like in education or something like that, that rule doesn't apply. But and just let me know if you are. But if you're not, I would say 2 to 3. I would say each position maybe having about 4 points, maybe 5. And then I would say, have your education on there, have your section that says systems and software. Yeah, I would say that. Not too many though. Let me see. I don't see any more questions right now besides Demetrius. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep going, guys. All right, so that's what you want to do. Sorry, I don't know how I keep doing that. Okay, there you go. All right. So next we want to talk about resume types. All right, most times I would say about, I don't know, I don't really know a percentage. Let's say 90% of resumes are chronological. Those are, I did this from 2010 to 2015. It's your work history according to the dates. Functional, a lot of times people who have had, different types of jobs, so they may have been, in administrative assistant, then they worked in healthcare, then they were a probation officer. Functional may be best because you can break down the functional resume by categories. So instead of by dates, a category might be customer service, and then they kind of list that. Another category might be nonprofit management, and they're not listing where they work, they're listing what they did. So it's a category and then little bullet points like that relate to that category. So nonprofit management, well, I work with youth, I help with the community. Then let's say another one was customer service. I answer phones, I resolve inquiries, things like that. The best one I would say would be chronological. That's pretty much what companies are used to. When it's functional, you do have your job, your professional experience at the top, but it's just where you work and the date, and then the bottom part of those categories. Most time with functional, though, employers a lot of times don't like it. So I just stick with the chronological when I'm doing resumes for people. Also, there's a hybrid combination resume, which is a mixture of chronological and functional. Once again, most employers, they just like chronological, but I'm just kind of telling you the type so you'll know. And targeted, that's kind of when you see a specific job. I think I had a client the other day, it was like an account business development rep at MailChimp. It was such a specific job title. She did a targeted resume, and everything in that resume was strictly tailored for that one position. That's not bad, but that can get overwhelming if you're kind of constantly applying and you're making your resume tailor for each specific position. That can just get exhausting. Okay, so let me see. All right, I don't see any questions in here, so I'm gonna. Oh, does that include the cover letter as well? I think you're asking, darling, about the resume types. I feel like that's what you're asking. Is that what you're asking about? Does that include the cover letter as well? Let me know. Okay, darling, I'm in sales. Oh, Demetria, in sales. Should you have more than one resume? So yes, Demetria, you should have more than one resume. Like for instance, I'm in human resources. My last position was human resources director, right? So when the pandemic hit and I was displaced, I was like, okay, now what am I gonna put? So I had human resources director. I had one for, what is it called? Human resources director. I had one for diversity and inclusion. I had just different types of resumes. And so I wasn't really doing a targeted resume per se, because it wasn't like one specific position at, let's say BB&T or something that I wanted to apply to, that I was making my resume fit that one position. It was more so the areas that I was interested in. So to make sure, if you're interested in sales, you have a sales resume. But let's say you have some project management experience, you want to have a project management resume. Let's say you have some kind of like organizational leadership, like you were a supervisor over many people type experience, then you might want to have that type of resume. So yeah, I even have multiple resumes, and I have multiple cover letters too. The number of pages. Oh, darling. Okay. The number of, your name is so pretty, by the way. The number of pages for the cover letter, just one. For the cover letter, just one page. All right. All right. Feel like I missed something. Okay. So this was just an example of a resume. I love Batman and Gotham City. So that's the Bruce Wayne reference for anyone who's a Batman fan. So Bruce Wayne, you see where it's circled? That is basically their branding statement. So basically, I'm a recruiter. I'm looking at this resume, Bruce Wayne. Okay. The first sentence tells me what Bruce Wayne is about. He's a card services and fraud prevention professional. So I already know what he's about. Even if I don't look at anything else in his resume, I know what he's about. Then those checkpoints, those are telling me, the things that he's experienced in, Fiserv systems, identity theft, training. Okay, cool. Those are some of the things of a person or supervisor that I might need. So me as a recruiter or hiring manager, I'm going to keep looking. Now in this one, he has way more bullet points than like the 4 or 5 I said you could have. You don't necessarily have to have 4 or 5, but understand that probably the first 4 are what a recruiter is going to look at. You can have more, but the recruiter is not actually going to look at the additional bullet points. But what is the advantage of those additional bullet points is that applicant tracking system. The applicant tracking system is all about picking out the words. Now, when it gets to the human's eyes, the applicant tracking system has already told the human, that, hey, this is a good person. You need to look at this person. So me as the human, now I'm looking, okay, wow, he has some great information. I'm looking at probably the first 4 bullet points. I'm like, all right, cool. I want to call him in for an interview. Let me see. I feel like I have a question. Okay. I don't see any question. I'm gonna come back. Okay. All right, I'm gonna keep on. All right. So career pivot. Now, how many of you were doing something pre-pandemic and now you may, whether you've taken some time to learn a new skill, whether you've gotten a certification, now you want to do something else. Let's see if anyone, and if you do want to do something else, can you say what you want to do? Like if you were maybe a teacher before and now you're interested in, maybe project management or just some other field. I'll give it maybe 30 seconds and see who says anything about wanting to pivot their career. Anybody? No? Okay. No? All right. So in the career pivot, you want to think about what are you good at? I know a lot of people. I had a girl I used to work with. She was almost like a salesperson, but she loved photography, y'all. Loved. And she ended up, I think she ended up getting, no, she got laid off. And now she's a photographer, you know what I mean? And she does really, really well in it. So just thinking what you're good at. And then after you think about what you're good at, think about how it can be monetized. And if it's like a side hustle type thing that you want to turn into a business. If it's not, and it's something where you want to work, you want to have a career in that, think about what have you done in your past experience that can apply or relate to what you want to do. For instance, so like let's say before I was in customer service, and let's say I want to pivot to maybe case management or just dealing with a group of people and I'm their point of contact. Well, I can use transferable skills. I'm used to talking to people. I'm used to helping them out, resolving inquiries, taking them through that client or customer experience from the beginning to the end. You just want to really reflect on who you are. That professional brand, that's that statement we saw at the top of that Bruce Wayne resume. That's you. That's who you're saying you are. For me, I'm a career coach and an HR consultant. If anybody comes to ask me, I'm a career coach, I'm an HR consultant. That's who I'm branding myself to be. Also, career pivot, you have to, get that resume done, whether you do it yourself, whether you pay someone to do it. Make sure you have a fresh new resume and cover letter as well, 1 page. Also, LinkedIn. I told you LinkedIn is cash king. We're going to get to that shortly. And share with others. Don't be ashamed. Tell people, hey, I'm looking for something. I'm looking for work. You know what I mean? Do you know of anything? Because what they say, closed mouths don't get fed, and it's the truth. All right, Demetria, let's see. You said sales people. You were in sales and you want to pivot to people leader. Demetria, is that what you were saying? I think so. If that is what you're saying, yes. Okay, cool. Thank you, Coach BJ. If that is what you want to do, that is an easy pivot. So in sales, what are you doing? You're taking clients' requests, you are working with them, you're discovering pain points. To people leader, you're doing the same thing. The only difference it may be for employees or a team of people. And with that, it's the same transferable skills. That same, hey, what's going on with you? How can I make what you're trying to experience better? A service I provide, how can I, make it fit your circumstance? Same thing with people. So sales to people leader is an easy pivot. I have had some more difficult pivots. One more recently, I had a girl who was kind of like a virtual assistant and she was trying to pivot all the way to like a project manager. Some pivots need the assistance of certifications or classes, or even times when you have done projects, you highlight that in your resume. So sometimes it's not just as easy as words, and just kind of making those transferable skills. Other times you need actual certifications and things like that. All right. Okay, I went for it. All right. So I get this question a lot. Do you really need a cover letter? I'm always going to keep it 1000% with y'all. No one is going to read your cover letter. No one. I've been in HR for 11 years. I probably read 4 cover letters. But, if you apply for a position and you get to the point you're uploading all your documents and they ask for a cover letter and you don't have one, you will automatically not be eligible for the position, because that's like a requirement. They're asking it for a reason. If you get to that point, you like, dang, I don't have a cover letter. Let me try to make one real quick. Just go ahead and have one. Also, what I do too, y'all, is I use my cover letter when you're having those virtual interviews we'll talk about later. I use my cover letter as a almost like my selling point, almost as my when I'm having a virtual interviews and they're asking me questions like, well, who are you? What have you done? Or, I don't read directly from it because it'll sound weird. But like one of them on this slide is like, coach staff on customer service excellence strategies. I'm like, I'm very versed in just coaching staff on different strategies, whether it's selling strategies, whether it's employee development. And you can kind of use the points on your cover letter as ways to sell yourself, not just for a job, really for anything. So it has its uses. It's not a completely useless document, but I would say, definitely. Oh, and darling, you can see I don't know if you can see toward the bottom, but it's only one page. It's only one page, has the number, phone number, the email. Look forward to further discussing my qualifications with you. So this is a pretty good template for a cover letter. Just has a few bullets of what the person does. And always, you all see at the top, it says Bruce Wayne. It says his branding line, the card services, phone number, email, city only, even on your resume, city and state. Do not put your entire address on a resume or a cover letter, okay? City and state. And what's below it? The LinkedIn link is important. You must have it, okay? Let me slide over here real quick. Uh-oh. Sorry, guys. I closed out of something. Give me 1 second. I don't know how I did that, guys. I'm sorry. I closed out of my presentation. Trying to talk to y'all. Don't look at my stuff. All right. Let's see.
Dr. Sherrich, it's still on the screen. So yeah, it's still at the Bruce Wayne where you left off. So it's not moving on our end.
Okay. Yeah, it just closed out on my end. I don't know why. I see that it's still sharing, but I don't know where it actually went.
Okay. Do you want to unshare and go back to the page and share again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. It wouldn't be a Thursday if it wasn't technically. All right, let me do it again.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. All right.
Okay. Perfect. And
Okay.
back. Okay.
All right. Trying to get this thing off the screen again. All right, there we go. All right, guys, sorry about that. Okay, we were talking about cover letters. All right. So yeah, you see the information at the top. He has that brand line. He has the number, his email, city and state only, and the LinkedIn URL. One page, okay, for the cover letter. All right, LinkedIn. If you don't have a LinkedIn, employers are not going to look at you. It doesn't, if you're just starting LinkedIn or you just literally, you do the homework and you register for one, it doesn't have to be just the most decked out LinkedIn, but you have to have one. What it says is that employers can take you seriously. You take yourself seriously. You are a person who's really looking for quality work. So absolutely have one. Bright professional headshot. If you can get like a professional headshot, perfect. If not, this is just like a blank wall, I probably would take that off. But just literally just have a picture of you in front of a blank wall, or a solid color wall rather, and take a nice picture. Or you can even go outside and take a nice picture. No car shots, no these, none of that. You want a nice professional picture with you smiling and all of that. Oh yes, and no selfies or car shots, but clean looking hair, clean looking makeup, and that LinkedIn URL, that's what you're including on all of your documents. All right. So for LinkedIn, 3 C's: complete, concise, and compelling. You want it well organized. You want it up to date. We talked about the professional headshots. Toward the bottom is something called endorsements and like recommendations. You can ask people to recommend you. It's very easy. You literally just click something and you a button down at the bottom, and you're asking certain people for recommendations. So you can ask like an old coworker, an old boss, or even a current coworker or boss. You can put your educational background. If for my marketing people, if you are in marketing, put something. There's an area on LinkedIn for publication/written works. Put something on there. Upload a presentation that you did. Upload a pamphlet or a flyer. Because if you're in marketing, we expect to see, what you created. So definitely do that. All right. So for LinkedIn, you always have this area. So this area is like the about me. A lot of people just kind of say, who they are. Like this guy, Sean Sorrells, he's one of my old coworkers. And at the time I thought his header was so amazing. Sales operations leader, certified Salesforce professional, empowering sales teams to be amazing through tech and process. So it shows a little bit about his personality. He sounds just fun. He sounds great to work with. He sounds like he comes with fresh ideas. So that's a good header. And then you see, I kind of highlighted right there. It says, what is Sean's top skill? And what is Sean's top skill? And you can see it with the red arrow. That's where you add your skills. So literally on LinkedIn, you're typing in skills, and it actually will pull from your resume. So it'll pull some things, and you just click add. Just go crazy. Add all of them. Add all of them, okay? How many ever you can. So this is just a little bit, when the About Me section is one is a summary. This is the About Me section with a unique background in software development, sales leadership, and sales operations. I understand the intersections between sales process and the best in class software. So you kind of see like he has a little bit more on his About Me section. Let me go over here, make sure, see if there are any questions. Is it good to put your volunteer skills? Deborah, yes. If you're talking about on your resume, yes, it's good to put your volunteer skills, and also on your LinkedIn too. Yeah, you can put, there is a section on this slide that I'm at where it says more. So you see my name, Dr. Sherrich Sharper, where you see open to, then you see add profile section, and then you see more. When you're actually live in your LinkedIn profile and you click on more, that's where you can add different parts of your LinkedIn page. So on that button, you can click more, you can put volunteer work. I think it's a great idea personally, because companies love that. They love to see that you do give back to the community. So here's mine. I think this is like maybe a screenshot from a few weeks ago, but mine is pretty simple: human resources consultant / Salesforce admin professional. It has my city. Now I want y'all to look at this. This is important. When you sign up for your LinkedIn, do you see where it says open to work, Salesforce administrator, blah, blah, blah? Only I can see that. And what that's saying is it's telling recruiters that I'm open to work. So my boss is not going to see it, my coworkers, no one that I pretty much don't want to see it. The only person or people that's seeing it are recruiters. So that's basically like a background message telling recruiters, hey, I might be at my current job, but I'm looking for another job. That's what that button is. So that's why I say LinkedIn has so many nuances that, you have to just kind of play with and learn. But it's an amazing tool. It's an amazing tool. Let me just check in, see, should you include any additional documents besides resume and cover letter? Demetria, on your LinkedIn, On your LinkedIn, no, just resume. Well, not even cover letter on your LinkedIn. Your LinkedIn, just your resume. And you don't actually have to upload that. This is my opinion about if you're talking about a resume and cover letter, Demetria, on your LinkedIn. LinkedIn, to me, how I like to use it is to start a conversation. It's almost like if I wear like not a provocative, but just a conversation starting shirt. Like if I say, like I have a sweatshirt that a girl made for me, and it says, I help people find jobs full time. And it's a conversation piece. You know, people like, what you mean? You're a recruiter? What do you do? What do you do? So that's kind of how you want your LinkedIn to be. My thing is, if I'm a recruiter and I see your LinkedIn and I like what I see, then I'll message you for a conversation. If I can see your resume and all this stuff like that, I don't really need to talk to you because I can see your stuff. So you kind of leave them wanting more. So for me, in terms of uploading things to LinkedIn like documents, the only things I will upload would be, like I said, if you are in marketing or some type of field where you have to show the creativity of the flyers and stuff that you made, I would upload that. But not and like for me, I have a doctor, so I uploaded my dissertation. Who's going to read it? No one. That question was intended for applying for jobs. Yeah. When you're applying for jobs, yes, your resume, your cover letter. Yes, if they ask for it. Sometimes they ask, do you want to add supplemental info? If it's optional for a cover letter, I guess it kind of depends on you. This is the thing about a cover letter. Like the way that I have, let me go back. The way that I have the one that I showed, you see where it says, I'm interested in being considered for the position, and I highlighted insert exact position here. I'm interested in being considered for the position of HR director at Coke. And I saved that cover letter, right? So let's say I'm applying again, and then it's one for Pepsi. I don't want to risk the chance of sending Coke's cover letter to Pepsi. So that's why I tell people, if a company asks for you to send a cover letter and it's mandatory part of your application, then yes, send it. And that way you're not going to run the risk of like messing anything up. Because you do want to have the specific position name in the specific company when you're sending a cover letter. You just don't want to send a generic like, hey, I'm interested in your position, and then I believe my card. You know, you kind of want to make it a little bit more personalized. But with that, and I'm just being honest, we're human and things happen and you end up sending the wrong. Ooh, that's just so bad when it happens, y'all. Don't let it happen to y'all. Let me see. I hope I answered your question, Demetria. I'm a come back. If I didn't, let me know. Okay. All right. We're getting over time, so I'm going to just go ahead and make sure I hit these main points. So this is just some other factors of LinkedIn, just the skills and endorsements. That's why I said you can add those skills. You guys see endorsements. That's people, other of my colleagues endorsing me, saying that I'm good at these things. So I was endorsed by 4 people at one of my old jobs. And when I tell y'all, endorsements are so easy. Literally, endorsements pop up on the screen for your connections. So let's say I have 5 connections and one of them's Coach BJ. She logs in her LinkedIn, boop, it'll just pop up. You want to endorse Sherrich for leadership? All she does is click yes. And on my side, you see where it says endorse. Now I have her as an endorsement. Recommendations, you see that little pin that says ask for a recommendation. That's how you ask for the recommendation. You click it and you type in who you want to send like the request to, and boom, they complete it and you have a recommendation. All right, just looking to see if there were any questions. All right, awesome. Thank you, Coach BJ. All right, so virtual interview prep. Fun. Y'all, I can't stand it. You hear me? Oh, I don't know how y'all feel about it, but it's nerve-wracking. It's just so nerve-wracking. Okay, but these are the main points. Test your light, okay? Right now I have a ring light in here. I'm not telling y'all to buy a ring light, but just be in a room that's well lit. I always try to do a solid color background. Yes, look, right now I have on a sweater and I have on jeans on the bottom, okay? That's fine. Don't wear no pajama pants. Because I'll tell you, the minute you think you're fine, that doorbell's going to ring, something's they're going to see. Okay. Just don't take for granted that they can't see all of you. That's all I'm saying. No interruptions. I have a dog. He was scratching at the door early. I had to put him up, because you don't know what other people on the other end can hear. Body language, definitely. It's weird when you're talking to a camera, you're looking at yourself, you're like, well, I look crazy, or I don't, but always be conscious of your facial expression. Try to be smiling and looking engaged when you're talking and when the person is talking to you. Let me just pause for a second. How do you handle gap in employment with layoff prior to and then job offer due to COVID rescinded? All right, how do you handle gap in employment, with layoff prior to COVID, you're saying, and then job offer due to COVID rescinded? Gap in employment prior, a lot of times you can either handle it verbally or on your resume. So if you don't put a filler, like let's say I have a gap in employment, sometimes, especially women, maybe when they've had kids and they're like, okay, I took time off, when I had my kids, just to be there for them and what have you. You can tell someone, because a gap is a gap. I wouldn't suggest that you lie. I definitely wouldn't suggest you lie, but you can just be honest, like, hey, during this time, I was doing different projects, working from home, or doing different projects while I was raising my kids. So maybe you sold Avon, maybe you did community involvement stuff. Maybe you did volunteer work or things at your church, like mentored. Anything that you did in between that time, no matter how small, mention it. Just mention it, because to be honest, y'all, before COVID, that would have, like, a gap would have seemed suspicious. Like, why she didn't start back working? But now, that really humbled so many people, recruiters, hiring managers, HR people, everybody. So I would say just be honest, because really this is really what they want to know. What were you doing? What were you doing? What were you doing? Jesus, what were you doing during that gap? That's a tongue twister. But seriously, that's what they really are asking. So, like, can you tell me, they're all with their pen, can you tell me about this gap in your employment? And you're like, yeah, absolutely. During that time, I was in school. I wanted to pursue another certification. During that time, I traveled. I was doing missionary work. During that time, I took that time to raise my children. During that time, I did get laid off. And at that time, I realized, what? I do want to pursue some projects on my own. And I was fortunate enough to do that. Be honest. That's what I would say. And two, like I said, it's different now because people have, darling, no, girl, I hate them too. Ooh, I hate them things. I hate doing them, and I hate being on the other side. They're awful. I get it, but I don't mean I have to like it. Okay, so also with the tell me about yourself question, whose favorite is that? Nobody's. Let me tell you why we ask it. We as HR people, we ask it to break the ice, to give you an opportunity to tell us a little bit about yourself. However, this is where it goes wrong. It goes wrong when y'all, or not y'all, because y'all are amazing because y'all in here, right? So it goes wrong when candidates are like, well, my favorite color is purple. I actually, I like to hike. I like to fish. And, I have 4 kids. I just love them so much. And we go to the park every Wednesday. And, well, what did you want to know? That, you are there for a professional interview. So you want to give professional answers. And to me, the best way to do that is to take your resume or take your cover letter and not memorize it, but memorize the points, and then do it through the work history. So you may say, I'm gonna slide into over here to see if y'all asking questions while I'm saying this. So, Tanya, you laughing? But seriously, to say, okay, well, I started my career actually in customer service. I worked for a credit union trade organization, where I serviced customers, dealt with inquiries. And then that company, we had a major layoff. And after that, I moved to human resources. I started off as HR assistant, doing payroll, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm basically telling the story of my resume, but just in verbal form. And you just want to keep it like that. You better be safe than sorry. Because when you start talking about personal stuff, it's like, no, just keep it professional. That's my advice for the tell me about yourself question, which no one can stand. Now, one thing, do not do this. A girl did this to me last week. Well, I mean, that's a broad question. I mean, can you be more specific? Like, what you want to know? I'm like, one, your face tells me that you don't like my question. Two, your voice. And I mean, even if I can't ignore those two things, your face, and mind you, we're virtual, just like this, your face and your voice. So that's why the thing with virtual, even if I couldn't see her, I could hear her. I could hear how irritated she was, and I didn't even want to listen to the answer after that. So just kind of be thinking about that. Know some company knowledge. I know you guys started, in 2002, and, you've grown since then. Just know a little bit. You don't have to memorize everything, but know a little bit. Companies love that. They love when you know something about their company. Maybe something recent. What I like to do is mention something recent that they've done. Well, I saw that recently you guys ran Forbes for being the top 10 places to work. And I thought that was so impressive. You know what I mean? Let's see, no slang. Have questions that you want answered. Just list a couple that you truly want the answer to. No fluff. Can you tell me a typical day in the life of an HR director? I'm using that because that's just my, the title I'm used to. Or can you tell me what you're looking for in an ideal client or ideal employee? Definitely be yourself and get your answers. Get your questions answered. Okay. Definitely get your questions answered. All right. So, these are a few of the questions I've asked. I do ask to tell me about yourself. Like I said, on our side, it is a good icebreaker. Why did you leave your last role? Be prepared to answer that question. Everyone's going to ask it because they want to know. And I will say the best thing about COVID is that COVID, that's how I left my last position, COVID. So no one's going to question that, Tell me about a time when. That's called a situational question. Let me tell you, do not say, well, if I was in a situation like that, if I say, tell me about a time where you had a very harsh and rude customer and how did you deal with that? Well, I mean, if I did ever have just literally think of a time. And that's why interview prep is essential. Even if you just do it with a friend or your spouse, like, hey, I'm asking me these questions real quick. I'm going to answer them. So you can just kind of get used to the situational questions because people love asking you situational stuff. They want to see how you reacted because they weren't there, right? They're trying to get a feel for you. Let me see. Biggest professional achievement. That's a question I love to ask someone. What was your biggest professional achievement? I like to ask, I like to ask, let me see, Demetria, I'm long-winded. How long should you say? I would say, 3 minutes, Demetria. About tell me about yourself. How do we answer? Why should we hire you? Whenever they say, why should we hire you? That is your time to shine. You want to hire me because, I can, if you want to say I can bring results, if you want to focus on the result, I guess it depends on the industry you're in, but if it's results, wait, I'm just reading this question. Lotus, can you put your question in the chat? Because I do want to answer, but I want to understand what you're asking. Lotus Flower, I like that name. But so you definitely want to, dang, Lotus, I lost my train of thought. Oh, why do we hire you? Yeah, so you want to use this time to shine. You definitely want to highlight, and that's, to me, in my opinion, where that cover letter kind of comes. You want to hit on things that you put in your cover letter. Those are your selling points. And to be honest, I think that's the quickest way to get to them. So, because I'm well-versed in this, I'm bringing a great background in technology, I've had through my certifications and my education, I'm able to then train and develop other employees, and I have the ability to get employees excited and engaged in either a system implementation or a training class or, a employee, wellness type of program. You want to, that's your time to shine. And to be honest, I will practice that. I will practice that answer. I would use some pieces from my cover letter, and I would also just use not just reading measurements and achievement things from your cover letter, but also who you are. You have the ability to engage, excite, all of that stuff.
I just want to pop back in, Dr. Sherrich, to let you know I read Lotus Flower's comment, and I think what she's saying is that what is the best reason to state why you had to leave your last job? Let's say that there was a lawsuit and she won a claim, but after she won the claim against the company, apparently you had to resign. And you can let me know, Lotus Flower, if I'm correct, but when I read it, that's what I gathered from your question. So let me know if I'm correct on that. But that's what I'm assuming that question means, is how I'm reading it. So let me know if I'm correct, though. I'm going to pop back out again.
I think the way you read it, Coach BJ, is right. Lotus Fire, if that is what you mean, okay, that's right. Okay, cool. Yeah, if that's what you mean, anytime you are in an interview, no matter what, no matter if you're so tempted, ooh, they got on your last nerve, do not bash the company. Don't talk bad about them. If you resign, you can just say you resign to pursue other opportunities. You resign, you can even say like you resigned that it was in that. Now I will say this, if it's a situation like that, Lotus, you already gonna kind of maybe feel nervous about answer because you were like, oh Lord, they asked me this question, you know what I mean? So if you do want to say, hey, I resign to pursue other opportunities, other projects, and I did after that work on a few other independent projects, and I would just leave it like that. I wouldn't go into depth. I wouldn't say anything about it. Because 9 times out of 10, they probably don't know anything about the lawsuit, and you don't want to give them any info. They don't know, so leave it like that. But yeah, I would just kind of just say you resign, to pursue other opportunities, and pursue other, independent projects, or what have you. And I'll just leave it like that. I'll leave it like that. All right. So you ask yourself, are you marketable? Okay. So especially people who have been laid off during COVID or want to transition to a different career. And you, in your mind, you're awesome, but I would be lying if I said sometimes you doubt yourself. Sometimes you have fear. You're like, man, I did all this at this last job. You're like, but in the same sense, I can't do this. Dang, I don't have that. Like that self-doubt, you have to be able to put it out of your mind. You have to focus on everything you have done. So are you marketable? Ways to increase your marketability that'll kind of close the gap between your fear and your doubt. You can get certifications. There are some of them that are very inexpensive, like on Google. Google has a lot of them. I think someone said Amazon has some, not like when you order and stuff, but like Amazon had some dealing with type of technical type things. Definitely Salesforce certifications. You can definitely ask Coach BJ or myself about that. That's an extremely marketable certification to have. And you can do self-taught, or you can get in a class. One of our speakers, the Ask Your Expert earlier this week, Z, she was my teacher for Salesforce, and I passed on the first go round. So that tell you how awesome she was. Okay. So Salesforce is a great certification to get. If you're in project management, you can definitely get a PMP, it's a project management certification. HR, there's about 2 of them you can get. So just search and check the price, see how much they are and see if it's something you're interested in. Workshops and trainings like these, you're going to learn so much tonight. Like you can apply all this stuff, so definitely keep up with the times, keep up with what's going on. Research, that's what we kind of talking about earlier. And also having a sample of work that you add into LinkedIn. So like I said, especially for my creative folks, any type of anything you created, even not just a marketing person, but even if you're going for like administrative assistant type positions and you did do flyers and things like that, post it, upload it to your LinkedIn. Okay, I'm just checking to see if I see any questions. I've been wanting to get Salesforce. Yeah, Demetria, go for it, girl. When I tell you, Demetria, I was the least likely candidate for Salesforce. I always tell people, I'm just an HR girl. I'm just an HR girl. But when I tell you I learned and I learned that technical stuff and I liked it. So yeah, Joby, hey girl, are layoffs a red flag for interviewers? No. I think Joby before they may have been, and they may try to ask you get delving deeper. Girl, it's always safe to just be like budget. If they try to get in your business and ask you about layoffs, like, oh, layoff, okay, well what were the what was the things concerning the layoff, and you can always say, the company laid off a portion of people, and I was unfortunately included in that. You can always say, budget, but for the most part, interview with etiquette is not going to delve into why. They're just going to be like, oh, you were laid off. Oh, okay. And they're going to leave it alone. If they're delving into why, to be honest, they're just being messy. I'm just saying. Oh, wait, I just saw a question. Oh, Lotus Fang, you welcome. All right. Are you marketable? Okay. So we're almost to the end, guys. These are just some like marketable points. So I created, was just a Word document. This is just a part of it though, where you see in bold. So I just created 1-page Word document, and in bold I wrote almost like categories of my experience. So one category, employee development. And under employee development, I can do career pathing, diversity and inclusion, talent management, blah, blah, blah. Systems. So and this is just a 1-page document. I'm not giving this to anyone. I mean, you actually could, but I actually created the document for me, right? Systems. This is kind of part, I think someone asked about the virtual interview question. So systems, ADP, Paylocity, Salesforce. I think the one at the top was talking about, the header probably was HR management. And then those are the things I listed. I keep that document, and when I'm on my virtual interviews or even my in-person interviews, I actually bring that with me. And when they're saying, well, tell me why you should hire you. Well, I'm versed in employee development systems. And it's like, those are almost like my talking points. Also, this is kind of basic, but if you polish it up or what have you, you can leave this with the recruiter or with the hiring manager if you're face-to-face. Just saying, hey, these are everything I'm versed in. It's just a quick recap of my skills. I think I just missed the question. Okay, there you go. Could you email the presentation? It's blurry on my end. Darling, I can send it after. Okay. I can send it after. All right. So last few slides, networking during a pandemic. Polish up your social media and your virtual presence. Definitely your LinkedIn, and pretty much by that, what I mean is your LinkedIn. If you've been posting political stuff on your Facebook, delete all of it. Delete all of it. All of it. Just delete it. Because employers, those are kind of testy, touchy topics. And employers, they don't want to see it. And unfortunately, I'm not an advocate for it, but employers will go scourge through your social media. They will, just to see who you are. In their mind, they're piecing together who you are, and what you're about. Okay. So clean that up. Definitely do the workshops and training like these. Network with other people. Make sure you guys get each other's contact information, just from these Ask Your Expert workshops. And think about some 2021 networking goals. If you want to, for me, I know I want to increase my LinkedIn engagement. I want to post more articles and presentations and stuff like that. So those are just my main goals. LinkedIn connections, let's say you have 100, you might have a goal of having 500 connections. Okay. And we already talked about workshops and training. Okay. I don't see a question, so I'm going to keep going. All right. So here's the summary. Job search strategy. Definitely the resumes. We talked about the different types of resumes. Remember, chronological is the one that is cash king. LinkedIn is all about branding yourself, showing people who you are, having that nice and powerful about me section, summary section, having that background thing checked to on when it's asking, are you open to work? Like I said, it's something you see on the background and you check it when you first kind of open up your LinkedIn, and you check it, and then you can even type in the type of work that you're open to. So mine is, obviously all HR stuff and Salesforce stuff. And what that does is it's almost like a radar or a bat signal. Y'all know I like that, man. A bat signal to recruiters that this is the type of work that this person's open to. So she's giving us a green light to contact her. Interview preparation, it's just like your virtual handshake. You want to have the good lighting. You don't have any distractions. You want to look presentable. I have locks, so they can kind of look crazy. Look, sometimes I just do the front row. That's it. That's all you got to do. You don't have to get super dolled up, but you definitely want to look presentable. Resources and hacks. The top thing on this list, definitely look up sample interview questions. That job search strategy document, that's that first, let me scroll up real quick. Sorry if I'm making you seasick. The job search strategy document is this, the Excel sheet. That's your job strategy. You're keeping up with the date you applied to something, the company name. Job rating means, for me on my sheet, it means how much I was interested in that job. Apparently, I wasn't interested in except really one of them, and that was a 3. And then the location, and then the notes as well. So make y'all seasick again. So that's what I meant by the job strategy document. I just wanted to show y'all. And the LinkedIn hack. So let me come here. So the LinkedIn hack real quick is you go to LinkedIn. I really want to do it real quick. Let me make sure. Okay, y'all do me a favor and just take a picture of this screen. This is how you'll contact me if you have any questions, or I think someone wanted the presentation. I can send that to you. So take a picture of this real quick. Is there a way I could share my LinkedIn with them real quick? I just want to show them one last thing. And if so, I think I know I just stopped sharing the screen, and then do I get to my LinkedIn and share it again? If I can't, just let me know.
I think you should be able to. I'll have to remove this from the broadcast, and then I think you should be able to share your screen from there. So
okay. All right. I'm going to stop. I hope you guys got my information. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing that. Let me just go to my LinkedIn real quick, because this is the major takeaway too. It's a LinkedIn hack. Let me get in it first. Oh Lord, y'all, I think it done signed me out. Please don't sign me out. Oh, it didn't. Hey, okay. All right, let me share it. Okay. All right, y'all. Let me show y'all something real quick. I think you guys can see. Yep, you can see. Okay. So with LinkedIn, this is the LinkedIn hack. In the search bar, let me close this, all these folks, Lord. In the search bar right here, let me type in HR recruiter. I think this is where I type it in, Atlanta. All right. So in your search bar, up at the top, type in whatever field you want to work in, or you currently work in, whatever field you're interested in. So for me, it's HR, and then type in recruiter, and then type in your city. So you in Phoenix, wherever, sales recruiter, Phoenix. So mine will be HR recruiter, Atlanta. Coach BJ, this time I'm not gonna add her, Coach BJ. I gotta come correct with Coke. I really don't truly want to click anyone, but I'll click connect. Okay, click connect. You can add a personal message to Tori. So I can write, hello, Tori, I mean, not Tori, Lord, I got her name wrong. Hello, Terry. Thanks for the connection. When you have some time, I'd like to discuss how our networks can benefit each other. You just want to write something short and sweet. Now, sometimes people have this premium, and if you try to send it to them, it won't just send it to them. Other times you can send it to anyone. And then after you write your note, and then you click, I'm not going to click send. Then you click send. So what that does is, one, it wakes people up to you, like, oh, who's this? Oh, she has this experience. Oh my goodness, I'm a recruiter. I've been looking for someone like this, and here she is at my doorstep. She found me, right? And so I literally do this multiple times a week. And I'm gonna say, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Sometimes I'm lazy. I'm gonna be lazy. I'm just gonna click connect, and I just connect. I didn't send any message. Most time people don't like that when you just connect, but I did it anyway, just to show y'all. So sometimes I'm lazy and I just hit connect. But the best part is to go through and kind of just have that same message. You can copy and paste it in. But what that does is it gets you exposure. It gets recruiters are the gatekeepers to all of most of the positions that you're going to apply to. It's the recruiters hiring for a company. It gets their attention, and and then they'll reach out to you, and then they'll be like, hey, I saw your profile. Thanks so much for the connection. You have 15 minutes to chat. And you say, yes, of course. If you do, yes, of course, I have 15 minutes to chat. Will it be a phone call or will it be virtual? Because you need to know, what I mean? We got to do something to your hair, whatever. Oh, it'll be a phone call, of course. And what do? You pull up either that one-page document with the information on it, you pull up your resume or even your cover letter. And then, because the call's not going to be long, and you market yourself. You shoot those good points that we talked about. And it's going to get you more connections. And it's literally putting you in the face of recruiters who are the gatekeepers to the positions. So that's the hack. Remember, search bar, your area, recruiter, and then your city. And whoever, y'all, it don't matter who it is. You see people results, it don't matter, just add them. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna do it. I'm not gonna add no note, but just add them. You know what I mean? Go through, add them, have your personal note. And what will end up happening is, oh, thank you. You're welcome, Tanya. Thank you. What will end up happening is you'll start seeing on your notifications. Let me just go back. I didn't do it, but on your notifications, it'll say, well, this was 11 hours ago. 4 people viewed your profile. So once you do that, you go through add people, that you'll keep seeing these 5 people viewed your profile, 6 people viewed your profile, but that's what you want them to do. But let me tell y'all something. If y'all profile isn't popping, they don't want to view your profile. So before you do that hack I told you about, just make sure LinkedIn looks good. So we are so past time. I'm so sorry, but in the same sense, I wanted y'all to get all your information because we are dealing in a different space now with COVID, and you have to have move with the times. You know what I mean? So Coach BJ, I will turn it back over to you. Thank y'all so much. Put your information over there if you need me to send you something.
Oh my God, Dr. Sherrich, this was really great. I mean, even though I'm not personally in the job market, this is great information, and I'm looking forward to really sharing this with other people, not only to, come back and watch the replay, but to also, understand some of the benefits and some of the tools and tricks and stuff that, I wish I would have known, back in the day. But, thank you so much for the great information. I mean, everybody's been just giving you kudos and everything in the comments. For watching. This show is typically anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes. But one thing about it, if someone is holding your attention, they're going to hold your attention. And so, again, I always give my guests the liberty to just share everything that you have. So even if people have to drop off, I'm glad that you were able to, really, give everybody everything that you got. And, we just appreciate you, and people are putting their emails in the comments and, just everything. So we just thank you so much. And as we go ahead and close out, I wanted to share a couple of things towards the end. And she mentioned Salesforce, and she wrote my company, Cog Atlanta. We are a Salesforce consulting firm, and we actually have a class that's coming up. We have partnered with the college. And so
Nice.
we actually have a Salesforce certification class coming up next month. So if you are interested in becoming a Salesforce administrator, certified administrator, you can reach out to me and I can provide you more details. And even on my LinkedIn pages and everything, I will be sharing that information as well about the class and the college that we have partnered with to facilitate that training. So it is a industry where you can start off at six figures, like immediately. So any information, like you want to know about that, like I said, that is what my company does. So get in contact with me and we'll definitely connect with you on that. So I want to put that blurb in because we do have a class with our college partner that is coming up. So I will let you guys know about that. And I did want to let you know, for those who are normally on my talks, Transformational Talks with Coach BJ, for those of you who have been with me for the part 1 and part 2 of the series, I have part 3 coming up. So for those of you who have not been on, feel free to go back to my January 7th talk where I talked about the process of letting go and embracing change in 2021. And then on the 14th last week, I gave everyone the blueprint for your personal vision. So it can be just more than goals, more than just a vision board, but you truly have a blueprint for your personal vision. So there can be something to be aimed at, right? And then so next Thursday's talk is going to bring it all together. And so what you're going to do next Thursday with me, same day, same time, next Thursday at 7:00, is find out why you will never be fulfilled in your life, actually, until you learn this principle that I'm going to share with you. So for those of you who are interested in catching up, definitely come back. Go ahead and look at the replays from the 7th and the 14th and come back with me on the 28th. If you guys would like the blueprint, I sent out the blueprint to the viewers last week as well. So if you want the blueprint to the last 2 talks, I will definitely email that to you. So you can leave your email in the chat and just say blueprint, and I will email that out to you. And I just want to see if there's any other questions, anything else that anybody wants to share or say to me or Dr. Sherrich before we close out. I just thank you guys for your love, your attention, and just your questions. You guys have been great. I always say, don't forget to go to my YouTube channel, my social media platforms, and subscribe _ Coach BJ for all of my various platforms that I have, and to be on the lookout, because again, for those of you who are new to watching me, this platform is to serve you only. And if anyone wants to know about anything that you want to know about, anything that you struggle with, any experts that you want to bring on to talk about anything, just reach out to me on any of my social media platforms, and I'll be happy to either develop the talk myself, which I have done for a couple of people, or I will bring on an expert to be able to help you with whatever you're struggling with, because again, this platform is meant to serve and to serve only. That is the sole purpose of Transformational Talks with Coach BJ on all of my platforms. Demetria, I will send you the blueprint for sure. Thank you so much for putting that in there. If there's no more questions, we love you guys. We thank you for watching. And you have Dr. Sherrich's information. She is a career coach. So if you are going through a transition with your company, being laid off, or you're looking to just start something new and fresh and want to get some, insight on how to do that, definitely connect with her. Mm-hmm. And she will definitely be more than happy to help you. Yes. Thank you, Caroline. I appreciate that. So thank you guys for watching. You guys have a blessed evening, and I will see you guys next week. All right. Take care. Bye. Bye.